Tiatr is a type of musical theatre popular in the state of Goa on the west coast of India as well as in Mumbai and with expatriate communities in the Middle East, London and other cities where Konkani speakers have a considerable presence. The dramas are performed mainly in the Roman Konkani dialects and include music, dancing and singing. Tiatr performers are called tiatrists. Etymology: the word tiatr comes from the Portuguese word for theatre, teatro. Earlier variations were theatro, thiatro and teatro. Description: Tiatr today revolves around social, religious and political themes. It is considered to be a mirror of Goan culture. The drama consists of 6 or 7 acts called podhe. The acts are interspersed by songs which need not be directly linked to the content of the issues of the main drama. There are 2 or 3 songs between each of the acts. Tiatrists have always demonstrated a very high degree of social awareness. Most of the themes of Tiatr are concerned with social problems confronting the people. The Tiatr is an instance where mass support plays a crucial role. It is one of those arts which, despite centuries of Portuguese suppression and post-liberation neglect from the state governments, has not just survived but also thrived and reinvented itself in many ways. The Tiatr as a dramatic form has been traditionally dominated and patronized by Christian community. But over the years several young Hindu artists have been performing in the Tiatr, which are also seen by people from the Hindu community. The lone Muslim so far has been mimicry artist Sheikh Amir. Songs integral to the plays are known as cants. Other songs, called cantarum, are generally either comedic or based on topical, political and controversial issues that are interspersed through the performance. These musical interludes are independent of the main theme of the play. The songs are often satirical and unsparing of the politics and politicians of Goa. The music is provided by a live band including keyboard, trumpet, saxophone, bass guitar and drums. Tiatr today, besides the regular commercial shows, Tiatrs are held as part of the celebrations of nearly every church and chapel feast in the state. The Goa Kala Academy organizes a state-level Tiatr competition every year, while the Tiatr Academy organizes a popular Tiatr competition for dramas which have exceeded 25 performances. Tiatr songs and performances are recorded and sold on CD and DVD in Goan and Middle Eastern markets. Although efforts have been made to preserve the art form as a tradition of Goa, there have been calls for greater recognition of Mumbai-based tiatrists. Kel Tiatr. There is another version of the Tiatr called the Kel Tiatr, whose performance is restricted to the festivals of Carnival, Intras and Easter. It differs from the Konkani Tiatr in another respect. That is that its songs are integrated with the main drama and do not deviate in content from it. History. Prior to the emergence of Tiatr, entertainment in Konkani was mainly through Zagors and Kels. Both of them had their distinct style. While the Zagor was more lyrical, the Kel had dialogues, and while the former was more popular in bardes, the latter was firmly entrenched in salsete. Constancio Lucasinho Caridade Ribeiro, more popularly known as Lucasinho Ribeiro, who was from Asagar, was seeking employment in Bombay. Passionate about the performing arts, he was highly impressed with the stylized Italian operas performed there. He took up a job for an Italian opera troupe which was touring Indian cities at the time, staging an opera called Italian Boy. When the troupe left India, Lucasinho Ribeiro bought the costumes used in the play with the intention of staging a Konkani play on the style of the Italian opera. His collaborators in the effort were Catanino Fernandes of Talegao and João Agostinho Fernandes of Borda Margao. On Easter Sunday, The 17th of April 1892, the first Tiatr performance ever, Italian Borgo, adapted from the Italian play, was staged at the New Alfred Theatre, Bombay. This day is celebrated as Tiatr Dis, Tiatr Day. Hence, the Goan art form of Tiatr was the product of the meeting of Goan culture and the opera of Italy, which, incidentally, is the birthplace of the opera, and the Tiatr was born in Bombay. Since there were many different scenes in this Tiatr and as it required different stage sets, they thought of dropping the curtain and introducing songs and dances in front of the curtain. This was needed to entertain the audience while the stage setting was being done behind the curtain. These songs and dances did not have any relevance to the theme of the play. The first original Tiatr script was written and directed by João Agostinho Fernandes, entitled Bel de Cavalo Sundori Cavalci in 1895 in Bombay, and for all his consistent devotion and encouragement over 50 years, he was conferred the title Pai Tiatrist. Father Tiatrist, Mrs. Regina Fernandes, wife of the playwright João Agostinho Fernandes, became the first female Tiatr actor in Bhattacharya on the 22nd of November 1904. Divorce. A Tiatr written and directed by Aristides Dias was the first Konkani Tiatr to complete 100 performances on 5 October 1980. However, as time passed, the standard of Zagor as well as Celt deteriorated in quality with the introduction of elements of vulgarity. Educated people stopped patronizing the Zagor as well as the Kel, while Tiatr was making its presence felt. Its original form, the Zagors and the Kels, were dying a slow death, and the Zagor finally stopped being performed while the Kels continued. But in 1956 the Kel underwent a dramatic change. Given its state at that time, Antonio Morais thought it fit to take the Kel from the street performance to a stage performance. Helped by his friend and colleague Antonio Marion, the Kel was performed on a stage for the first time with a backdrop and other paraphernalia associated with theatre. The first Kel Tiatr, Sandloloput, written and directed by Antonio Morais, was staged on the third day of Carnival of March 1956. However, this form became very popular only in the 1970s when Rosario Rodriguez coined the term Kel Tiatr, and came up with extremely successful shows. Thus, the ground-based plays known as Celt evolved onto the stage and further into non-stop dramas, but have now generally dropped this label and are generally referred to as Tiatrs. Tiatr contributed to keeping the Konkani language alive during Portuguese colonial rule. When Konkani was suppressed, tiatrists played a major role in the struggle to make Konkani the official language of Goa. In 2007, the government of Goa started the Tiatr Academy of Goa, TAG, to facilitate the development of Tiatr. In 2008, legislation was approved granting 15 lakh rupees to the newly formed Tiatr Academy of Goa. 1. List of tiatrists. Past tiatrists: Teotonio de Costa. Active tiarists: Bras de Para. Tiatr Academy Goa.